Hello everyone, this is Enzo Eigen of the Alliance for Loki, and this is our second war of Season 19. And so this war is against ISO8A, who is always one of the top teams. I think they finished top 3 last season, so a really good opponent and a really good challenge for us. And so last time I went in with a very unique team, and today I'm going in also with a totally different team, one I have not run before. I have Medusa, Ghost, and Nick Fury, which is an interesting collection. And so I'm assigned to path 5 for the beginning, and then I'm backup. And so backup is always interesting just because you are never sure what's going to happen, and you end up sort of doing fights much more spontaneously just because, of course, you're assigned a node when there's some difficulty. I'm also assigned 1 mini-boss as well. I will tell you already, in this war, I did forget to record 3 of my 6 fights, and I'm really sad about that because they were really fun fights. The 2 middle paths fights, and then the mini-boss. What had happened was I'd woken up really early because I was grinding, and I wanted to do my 6 stars again, and also I need to get some more of my 5 stars complete. And so I totally forgot to record it, and so I don't have those middle 3 fights. But you'll get to see my first 2 fights, and here's the first one. It's against this Mordo. So this Mordo is on the ebb and flow node, and so this is interesting in that you have to knock them down. When you knock them down, you get this Fury buff, which helps you do damage. And if you haven't knocked them down, then they only take 60% of your overall damage. So really big difference between knocking them down. You get this 12-second Fury, and then if you haven't done that, then they have this protection passive on, which really limits the damage. So as always, I put on big buffs. This is actually the first war I used the 6-hour-long buffs, not here, but in the second section. It was really nice to have them on. So the plan here is to use Ghost. And so the reason why I'm using Ghost is because I can actually parry him and attack him. Because if you parry him and you have your precision passive on, you ignore evades. And so that's really helpful when fighting him. And I have to knock him down too, which means I have to use some heavy attacks. And so you can see the way this node works. So there I knock him down, and see the way I gain that Fury for knocking him down, and he loses his protection. So that's exactly what this ebb and flow is. Now you see when I attack him, my mediums are doing really good damage, 10,000, 14,000, 11,000, so a lot of damage. After 12 seconds it falls off, so it just fell off right there, and he has a protection back, and you can see the difference in the damage I do. And so I managed to knock him down again, so now I'm back to doing big damage, and so again, 11,000 mediums when I crit, and plenty of damage. Not even really think about using my specials in this, just because I just figure I will just play it safe, and it's a little tricky getting your special attack on quick enough so you can't block it, so it's a little too much risk. So his protection is back on. You can see the difference. I'm doing like 2,000 and 3,000 crits now as opposed to 11,000 and 12,000, so yeah, much different. Mordo is actually really nice for this fight because, of course, when he goes in this power game mode, you can sneak in a heavy. It's a little bit risky. Sometimes I've been countered by it, but in this case he didn't. And I finished the fight, 100% health. He goes down, and it's very straightforward. And so actually a big theme of this war for me is using Ghost, I would say parry style, just like a regular champion. It was sort of half and half there as I was parrying him sometimes, and also like countering him when he phased. So now I'm facing Darkhawk, and this is this ebb and flow node again, and I'm going in with Medusa. Of course, Medusa is well, she shuts down robots with her armor shadow, so that's really cool. So what I do on this fight is I put on a PS1, because the way you get the armor shatter is you have to do 2 mediums, and then when you throw your SP1, it gives 4 armor breaks, and when he has 6 armor breaks on him, he gets armor shattered. The other way you can get armor shattered is using your SP3. So I put on this boost, that way I can armor shatter him very quickly. And this way I'm able to basically shut everything down. And when she does this to robots, she shuts all of their abilities down. So you see the way he has the protection on. But now once I throw my SP1, that protection actually falls off. And so there it is. So the armor shatter shuts down everything, his power, and all the global nodes. There I totally missed the parry and get hit. Actually does a lot of damage. I'm down to 64%, which he's a rank 3. No, maybe he's only rank 2, sorry, but he's a 6-star, so he hits pretty hard. But now the fight is so easy. So again, usually when he has a shield on, you'd have to worry about him parry stunning you, but again, everything's turned off, so now it's just a very easy fight. So I play really conservative here. I wait till the armor shatter falls off, throw my SP3 because I was going to put the armor shatter back on. I really didn't have to be quite so careful, but I was just sort of in the moment, just trying to play this fight as well as I could, and so that was pretty simple. So unfortunately, as I said, you don't get to see the two middle fights. They were Ghost against Hitmonkey and Ghost against Omega Red, both on Path 4 on Section 2. The thing about Path 4 is it's pretty straightforward. It's like crumbling armor, brute force. There really isn't too much you have to worry about. But I played Ghost parry style, and I really learned to appreciate it. Because she's just like any champion. You can always parry, and she still has all the great benefits she has from being Ghost. Good crits, lots of damage, powerful specials. And so all those worked quite well. So it was great using Ghost, and as a rank 3, she's really powerful, and I just basically, just played her like a normal champion on those fights, and everything went perfectly. And so I used, the node I'm at right now was Mr. Fantastic. I used Nick Fury, again, very straightforward fight. I just had to get to my SB1 quickly to deal with his evades, and once his evades were gone, because I had tactical charges, it was incredibly easy. Then I could just hit him, didn't have to worry about him evading. The node also gives him like power gain if he evades and puts a weakness debuff. So the last thing I have for you is I actually got to take the boss. So we had tried and lost all of our attack bonuses on the boss. It is stubborn global. He is a defender, and so it makes him a really hard fight. And so I go in for the last. He has like 93k left, 24%. So I just bring Nick Fury. You can see he gets the indestructible there because of the node, and so you sort of have to learn, like I learned how to dex the Heavy of Doom without getting the dex on me, the dodge on me, which means I could counteract it. And so the hard thing is, like when he throws his specials, you have to dodge him. If you dodge him, you get the indestructible. So you can take a lot of block damage from this fight. You can see, those 2 hits took me from 61 to 53%. I play pretty recklessly, knowing I don't have to worry too much, so I go ahead and push him to the SP3, knowing that I will kill him before he can throw it, and there it is. I get the boss of victory, and so yeah, not really too much to to brag about, but always fun to get to defeat the boss no matter what. So that's the end of the war. We did lose to ISO8. They played really well. I think we had like 26 deaths and they had 16, so they beat us by a good margin. And it was interesting, this Doom boss now is like the new roadblock. It's a hard fight, especially with the global stubborn, and it'll be interesting to see what counters. We've been doing a lot of like thoughts about countering him and trying to figure out what's going to work. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Sorry I didn't get those 3 fights, and now they were interesting, I swear, and it was cool to see Ghost playing the Enzo parry style for Ghost. It works really well, and probably I think it's something that's really overlooked in using Ghost, is just using her like a normal champion, and she's still an amazingly great champion. So I'll be back for war number 3. Try to remember to record other fights, and I hope to see you very soon again. So this is Enzo Eigen of the Alliance for Loki, wishing you a good evening. Bye-bye.